Ruel. So today we're going to review her because I finally have her. If you've been following this channel, you know for a long time she was one of my most wanted ML5s, and recently she was on the Mystic banner. So let's go over her. As always, we'll go over her skills, and then her builds, a PvP showcase, and then a summary. Let's get started. So what does Ruel do? Well, she's just one of the best soul weavers in the game, bar none, particularly for PvP. Her S1 is very basic. It just attacks someone and heals your teammate with the lowest health. The soul burn is expensive. It takes 20 souls, but it does heal for a lot. So I've seen it heal like bruisers, like 50% of their life. It heals for a crap ton. So it is really good in emergency situations. The S2 is unbelievable. Only a 3-turn cooldown, dispels all debuffs, recovers health, and it's a big heal. It's basically a full heal when it's moled. And it grants barrier for 2 turns. Amount recovered in barrier strength is proportional to Ruel's health. This is basically a complete reset button because when you mole it, it basically is a full health heal in most cases. Plus it gives them a barrier, so it's even more than a full health heal in some cases because you heal them to full and also give them a barrier. And you dispel all their debuffs. Absolutely bonkers ability. Now her S3 revives one dead ally with healing magic, recovering all of their health, so at no molas it's a full heal, and grants them invincibility for 1 turn. And if you do it on a living ally, it's the same effect after dispelling all debuffs. So this is ridiculous too. With molas, it's a 4-turn cooldown, and basically it's a get out of jail free card. You screw up and someone dies, you just blast them with this, and they're healed to full, they're back to life, and they can't even be killed again right away because they're invincible unless they're stripped. So her kit is ridiculous because her 2 healing moves are the best single target heals in the game, and she has both of them because both of them are a full cleanse and a full heal, and the S3 can even bring them back to life if they're dead. Her S1 is her weakest ability, but again, you don't really care about that. And her Light Pillar actually cycles pretty fast. Like if you use Light Pillar and then use her S3, Light Pillar's back in a turn. Like it's really fast. So she is by far one of the most overloaded soul weavers in the game. The only knock on Ruel in terms of abilities is she has no AoE heals other than her soul burn S1. So if you're taking a lot of AoE damage, you gotta kind of pick and choose who lives and who dies. Now let's go over builds. Alright, so how do you build Ruel? Now, mine's not the greatest. You'll notice that I'm using pretty much all of the free level 75 gear, so I'm using double health set and 1 mismatch set. But basically, she's built like all other PvP soul weavers. The good thing about Ruel is that her base stats are ridiculously high, so she's one of the tankiest soul weavers in the game by default, but she is very slow. The stats you want to aim for are at least 1500 defense. You could probably bump this up with 90 gear by a lot. You want at least 18,000 HP, but preferably more. If you can get over 20k, that'd be great. Mine speed is too low. You really want her more at around 180 speed. Ideally, I'd have her on speed and health set or speed and resist set. And the key thing about Ruel that a lot of people forego is you really want effect resistance on Ruel. Because she has like single target heals and her base speed is bad, it's game changing for you if you get provoked or stunned or something at a bad time. You really want a minimum of 100 effect resist, but really more. And a lot of top tier players run her with like 180 plus effect resist because they really want to prevent her from being locked down by anything but like the people running like 150 plus effectiveness, because you really want to be able to get her heals off. So those are the stats you're aiming for. 1500 defense, minimum 18k health, but probably more, 180-ish speed, and I'd say minimum 100 effect resist, but as much as you can get. And notice that I have pretty decent stats even with this, I don't want to say terrible gear, but not optimal gear. With reforged gears, those are really attainable stats. Now, artifact, honestly, I know Soul Weavers have a lot of great artifacts, but really the only ones you want to use are Water's Origin, or Idol's Cheer. Celestine, like, I mean, it helps her S1, but you're not going to use it that much. Rod of Amaryllis is useless on her because her heals are basically full heals anyway, so it doesn't really help that much. I guess it might help if you have someone else that's also low on HP, but Rod is pretty useless on Ruele. Idol's Cheer is solid if you build a really slow tanky Ruele because it'll boost up your attackers, but I'd say in my RTA experience, at least 90% of the Ruels are on Water's Origin. It synergizes really well with her, and the other 10% are usually on Idol's Cheer. So that's about it for Ruele builds. Let's go into a PvP showcase. Alright, as always, it's time for a Ruele showcase now. Let's optimize this team in our normal fashion. So we'll replace Crow and Kayron with nothing. Let's do it. Because Ruele is Imba. We don't need nothing else. So here we go. Match gets started. Cdom is fast, pushes up the whole team. Can't even proc Water's Origin on my Ruele. Didn't do enough damage, unfortunately. Ooh, the Cid does, though. That hurts. Now Lilius goes... Ouch. Do I just regular heal here, or 2 souls, 4 souls? I think I need 4 souls for Spectre Teneb, so let's troll them with this invincibility. Alright. So Ruele is full health, very trolly. Alright, who is the bigger threat here? Cdom or Cid? Cdom is the push. Cid has 2 more turns on his S3. Maybe it's Cid. So we'll attack him once. And, maybe we just stun the Cdom. Cdom does get stunned. They brick into Ruele because she has this fancy invincibility buff. And now Cid will have his S3 back. But we don't care about that. Look at this, Ruel's just trolling. Solo tank city. Whatever, we'll just tickle the Cdom. Let's finish off this Cid. There we go, Cid is dead. Now they're on Ruele. Ouch. Alright, now Ruel's gonna heal herself up again. Oh, look at that thick barrier. That's not even with max molas. Now Cdom is dead. They're still working on this Ruele. But with Water's Origin, look how tanky she is. She's just tanking up a storm. Now her invincibility is almost up again. Spectre can attack again. There we go. Lilius does this thing. Hopefully it doesn't kill my Spectre. Spectre does survive. How many turns does ML Ken have on his S3? Water's Origin procs again. ML Ken has his thing next turn. That's not a problem, I think, because we're just gonna invincibility Ruele again. Hello! Yoink. She's full health, and let's stun up this ML Ken. Hopefully he doesn't resist. Throw the ball at him, and he is stunned. Now Spectre Tenebria kills ML Ken. And you know what, just for good measure, we're gonna heal up Spectre Tenebria, and look at this. Ruele was able to survive against all 4 of them, and Yeah, my team is pretty much at full health, so now we just 1 and 2. So there we go, that's your Ruele debut. That's how tanky she is. She was able to tank a Sid, CDOM, ML Ken Lilius by herself while keeping Spectre Tenebri alive, and we managed to complete the 2v4, so that's the power of Ruele. Alright, now that we've wrapped up the PvP showcase, as always, let's summarize. Is Ruele good? She's probably the best Soul Weaver in the game. Definitely the best all-purpose Soul Weaver in the game. In niche cases, others are better, obviously, but for PvP, she's basically usable all the time. Now, DN, Maid Chloe, and her are probably the ones you'll see the most in top-tier RTA. The one weakness with Ruele is that she doesn't really bring anything on the offensive end, which is where Maid Chloe and DN have an edge over her. But in terms of just keeping someone alive, no one really beats her. So let's go over ratings. So, Arena offense, I'm going to give her... it's weird. I'm going to give her a B. Now, in a way, she's an S, but the reason I'm giving her a B is her kit, like, if you're bringing a team that relies on you dying and bringing them back to life, probably not the best Arena offense to begin with. But if you're building a really stally team and trying to whittle down defenses, that's not the most optimal way to do Arena, but, you know, in that case, she'd be an S. But overall, I'd give her a B. In Arena defense, she's an S. She's absolutely annoying because her base stats are ridiculous. She's extremely tanky, so it's really hard to kill her before she gets the revive off. So she's a staple in Legend tier stall comps for sure. So definitely an S on Arena defense. Guild Wars offense, she's a hard S. It just makes it so hard to lose when you have Ruele because most defensive team, if they're balancing DPS and support characters, they just don't have the damage to kill Ruele before she gets her heals off. And it also lets you save character. Let's say you screwed up and lost the DPS. If you don't have a reviver, you just lose them forever. With someone like Ruele, you just bring them back, and then you have them for future fights as well. So Guild Wars offense, a hard S. Guild Wars defense, also an S, very annoying to deal with. She might be slightly worse than she is on offense because people can bring extinction and stuff like that, but not everyone has heroes like that. So she's definitely an S in Guild Wars defense as well. I see her all the time. And in RTA, she is definitely an S. Now, in many cases, people will opt for something like Maid Chloe or DN over her, especially if they're trying to apply offensive pressure, because again, like I said, her weakness is she doesn't provide anything on the offensive end. Although it's not theoretically true. She does, in a way, give you an offense because you can build your characters extra squishy. Like, one thing I'll notice is people using Rueles tend to have much stronger SSBs, because if you don't have a Ruele, you have to kind of build your SSB kind of tanky. But I notice people using Ruele SSB a lot of times, they're just like full attack SSBs because they expect them to die, and Ruele just revives them and they just nuke the crap out of you. So she's pseudo-offensive in that way, but still attack buff is more important. In PvE, she's also a god, but I don't care about PvE, so I don't really talk about that. But anyways, that kind of wraps up Ruele. She's one of the best Soul Weavers in the game, arguably the best one in certain situations. Her kit is overloaded. She has 2 of the best single target heals in the game, and she's just a complete beast, although her facial expression kind of weirds me out a little bit, but we'll forgive her. So anyways, that's my review of Ruele. If you have any questions or comments, leave it in the comment section below. And make sure you like and subscribe if you haven't already. Thanks for watching, and let me know who you want reviewed next. Peace out, guys.